Hey, good evening. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, just finished watching the 2022 Game Awards. Shout out to Virtual Kazama for streaming, co-streaming, and also shout out to B Ninja for joining as well. I wanted to get on here and just give my thoughts about the winning the winners of each of the categories. I'll go through each of the winners, and I'll also talk about the games, the announcements that I was the most excited for. There was a handful, but yeah, definitely wanted to give my thoughts on that. But first off, let's actually go through the categories and the winners. So I'll also put a link in the description to the list of the winners and everything like that, so don't have to worry about that. Um, so category for best adaptation, which celebrates game-inspired projects across entertainment, including TV, movies, comics, etc. The nominees was Arcane League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted. The winner ended up being Arcane League of Legends. Um, I haven't seen any of these. I heard that Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I heard it was good. I heard a couple of people that have seen Sonic the Hedgehog 2 enjoyed it. I've heard mixed opinions about Uncharted. Cuphead Show, no idea. Arcane League of Legends, I know I have some friends that are really big into League of Legends, so they probably were all over that. Most anticipated game, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. So nominees for most anticipated game were Final Fantasy XVI, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And of course, the winner ended up being Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which honestly, I feel like this was unanimous. We got to remember, there are fans that were just begging and begging for more information on this title as far as release date and just more footage. Folks have been asking for this for years. So it's not a surprise at all that Zelda won this award. I mean, yeah, I'm pumped for Final Fantasy 16, and I'm kind of sort of interested in Resident Evil 4, even though I don't think it's a game that should have been remade, because the original Resident Evil 4 is great. It's fine the way it is. I don't know why they had to remake Resident Evil 4, but whatever. Starfield and Hogwarts Legacy could care less. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I could care less. Best esports team, recognizing a specific esports team, not the full organization, judged the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2021. The nominees were Dark Zero Esports for Apex Legends, Fozzy Clan for Counter-Strike Go, Gen G for League of Legends, LA Thieves for Call of Duty, and Loud for Valorant, and Loud ended up winning. Moving on, because I don't know any of those teams. Best esports game, for the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre or platform. The nominees were Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Valorant. And the winner ended up being Valorant. I've never played Valorant before, so I really can't say much, but I hear it's very popular. I've only played League of Legends a few times. It's not my kind of game. Played Dota 2 once. Not really my kind of game. Played Counter-Strike Go before. It's all right. And I do enjoy Rocket League as well. Game is great to play with friends. So I originally voted for Rocket League, but I've heard great things about Valorant, and I heard it's very popular, so can't be too surprised. Best esports event, recognizing an event across single or multiple days that delivered a best of class experience for participants and the broadcast audience. The nominees were EVO 2022, 2022 League of Legends World Championship, the PGL Major Antwerp 2022, the 2022 Midseason Invitational, and the Valorant Champions 2022. And the winner ended up being the 2022 League of Legends World Championship, which, I mean, I wanted EVO to win. You know, I'm a fan of fighting games, but I mean, League of Legends is extremely popular, so it doesn't really surprise me that it won. Best esports coach. The esports coach judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2021. Nominees were Andre Blade Horodinsky of Natus Vincere of Counter-Strike Go, Matthias Bizika Tarasconi of Loud for Valorant, and please forgive me if I butcher these names, Eric Doombros Sangren of FPX for Valorant, Robert Raban Dahlstrom of the Faze Clan of Counter-Strike Go, and Go Score Dongbin of Gen G League of Legends. And the winner ended up being Matthias Bizka Tarasconi of Loud Valorant. Don't know any of these folks, so moving on. Best esports athlete. The esports athlete judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2021, irrespective of game. The nominees were Zhang Shovi Jihun of Gen G League of Legends, Lee Faker Sang Hyuk of T1 League of Legends, Finn Kerrigan Anderson of Faze Clan of Counter-Strike Go, Alexander Simple Kostlev, Natus Vincere of Counter-Strike Go, and Jacob Ye Whitaker of Cloud9 for Valorant. And the winner ended up being Jacob Ye Whitaker of Cloud9 for Valorant. Don't know any of them. Moving on. Content Creator of the Year. For a streamer or content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2021. The nominees were Carl Jacobs, Ludwig, Nebelian, Nobru, and QT Cinderella. And the winner ended up being Ludwig. He's the only one that I know out of that group. The rest of the folks I've never even heard of, so yay. Moving on. Best multiplayer game. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. The nominees were Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiversus, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. The winner ended up being Splatoon 3. And honestly, you know, not to hate on Splatoon 3. I have Splatoon 3. It's great. I am kind of surprised it won this award, especially against, you know, Overwatch 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I mean, that has a huge fan base. Multiversus as well. I'm thankful that Ninja Turtles got nominated. I mean, that was my vote, but I didn't think it was going to win. But I was actually kind of surprised that Splatoon 3 won. I figured it would have probably ended up being Overwatch 2 or maybe even Call of Duty. But hey, I am not mad at Splatoon 3 winning. So hey, I'll take it. Best simulation strategy game, which is best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. The nominees were Dune Spice Wars, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3. And I was actually happy with the winner. The winner was Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which actually got really great reviews, and I got the game as well, but it got really great reviews. But Total War, Warhammer 3, I can imagine was good competition as well. The other three games I've never even heard of, but happy for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Uh, best sports racing game. This is for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. The nominees were F1 22, FIFA 23, NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ali Ali World. And the winner ended up being Gran Turismo 7. I was kind of surprised that Madden wasn't on the list, but, you know, and I say that because, this year's Madden, they really honored, the late John Madden. But then again, heard the reviews weren't too great, so I guess it's probably why it didn't make the list. But Gran Turismo 7, understandable. Understandable. I own NBA 2K23, haven't played the other games. Pardon me. Best family game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. And this was actually a pretty loaded category. The nominees were Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. I own all 5 of these games, and they're great. They're great. I mean, I streamed my playthrough of Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Had a lot of fun. But the winner ended up being Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And honestly, well deserved. Well deserved. Like, all 5 games are great, but it was really good to see a Kirby game win, especially them taking it to a new level, doing an open world Kirby game. So I felt like overall, I felt like 4 out of these 5 games had a good chance. The only one I was kind of hesitant, I mean, Nintendo Switch Sports, well, I mean, I felt like probably wasn't quite as strong as the other nominees. But, I mean, Splatoon 3, very strong. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, very strong. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I mean, which the Lego games are very fun. And then Kirby, well deserved. Well deserved. All right. Best fighting game. For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. And I have to say, I gotta keep it real. The nominees overall kind of weak, in my opinion. The nominees were DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters 15, Multiverses, and Sifu, which I have no idea why the heck Sifu is even in this category, because it's not a fighting game. The winner ended up being Multiverses. I really was hoping King of Fighters 15 would win but to be fair, this year wasn't really a big year for fighting games. I mean, King of Fighters, DNF Duel, JoJo, I mean, to be honest, this wasn't really a big year for fighting games. Now next year will be different. Next year will definitely be different. But I think overall this year just was kind of weak for fighting games. And with Multiverses winning, not my pick. I played some of it before, but I wasn't feeling it. But that's just me. All right, best RPG. This is for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. The nominees were Elden Ring, Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's a good lineup. It's definitely a good lineup, but I'm not surprised at who won. The winner ended up being Elden Ring. Not surprised at all. Um, but I only have three of those games. I only have Live Alive, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm not a Pokemon fan. Never have, never will be. And Elden Ring, just not my kind of game. But I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it. But I voted for Live Alive, but I didn't think it was going to win. But it's at least as good to see a lot of these games get nominated. Okay. Best Action Adventure Game. For the Best Action Adventure Game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, the nominees were A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. And the winner ended up being God of War Ragnarok. Which, not surprised. I mean, I felt like Stray and Tunic had a good chance. Horizon Forbidden West I do own, but I hadn't started it yet because I still got to complete the first one. Stray I do own, but haven't played it yet. A Plague Tale Requiem, I have to say, I might consider this one later. I didn't buy it on launch day, but I might consider getting it maybe when the price goes down. But it looked interesting. And I do have God of War Ragnarok, I just hadn't played it. Best Action Game. For the best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat, the nominees were Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Shifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Now, I know some might find this controversial, but I can totally understand why this won. The winner ended up being Bayonetta 3. I mean, it makes sense. I know there was a lot of drama and controversy around the voice actor for Bayonetta, but aside from that, I mean, I'm not surprised that it won this award. I'm really not. Sifu would have been nice. Ninja Turtles would have been nice. I have both of those games, but I think Bayonetta 3 was the right call. The award for innovation and accessibility, which is recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So really, this is a good category across the board, especially, being able to better support, the handicap and those that can have a better chance to play these games that are maybe hearing impaired or, visually impaired. You know what I mean? So this category is for a good cause. So it's not so much has to be, a favorite, to win. I mean, they're all winners in my book, personally, because this is all for a good cause. So just keep that in mind. The nominees were As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Returnal, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, and The Quarry. But like I said, the winner was God of War Ragnarok, but in my book, all 6 of these are winners because this category, this was for a great cause across the board. So in my book, all 6 of them are winners. Next up, Best VR AR Game. For the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, and irrespective of platform. The nominees were After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. And the winner ended up being Moss Book 2. I can respect VR AR, but it's not really something that I have to have. I haven't really played a lot of VR AR games in my gaming career, but I respect it, but it's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. It's really not something that I could ever see myself investing in. Just to keep it real. Next up, we have the category Best Community Support, which is recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates/patches. The nominees were Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. And the winner ended up being Final Fantasy 14. I was definitely on board with this. I mean, I own Final Fantasy 14. It's not something that I've been able to consistently stay with, being that, it's hard to. It takes dedication and time for an MMO, and with me having a big backlog, it's hard for me to really commit. But I do enjoy Final Fantasy 14. It's a great game. Apex Legends, I do like Apex Legends. I've played that. Destiny 2, I haven't started yet. I've played through Destiny 1 and played all of its main story and DLC. So eventually I'll get to Destiny 2. Fortnite, could care less. No Man's Sky, never was my kind of game, but bump Fortnite. Congratulations to Final Fantasy 14. Best mobile game. This is for the best game playable on a mobile device. Pretty straightforward. The nominees were Apex Legends Mobile, Diablo Immortal, Genshin Impact, Marvel Snap, and Tower of Fantasy. And the winner ended up being Marvel Snap, which I haven't played before, but I've heard nothing but great things about Marvel Snap. And from what I've heard, it seemed almost unanimous with Marvel Snap winning. I mean, I would have thought Genshin Impact had good competition, being that, Genshin Impact was originally a mobile game, but Marvel Snap takes it pretty, from what I've heard, pretty convincingly. All right, you have the category Best Debut Indie Game, which is for the best debut indie game created by a new independent studio. The nominees were Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors. And the winner ended up being Stray, which I've heard a lot of great things about. I do have Stray. I did download it. I just haven't played it yet. And I've heard a lot of good things about Tunic as well. Norco, never heard of. Vampire Survivors looks like a pretty wacky game. And Neon White, I've heard of before, but don't know much about it. But it's cool to see that Stray won. And then moving on to Best Indie Game, for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. The nominees were Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. And once again, the winner ended up being Stray. So, been a lot of good things said about Stray. And I do have Sifu, which I've played through Sifu. I do like Sifu, so at least it was good to see it get nominated. But apparently I've heard a lot of great things about Stray, so I need to get around to playing that game. Alright, Best Ongoing Game. This is awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. The nominees were Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. And the winner ended up being Final Fantasy 14. So two awards for Final Fantasy 14. Not bad. Not bad. Although Genshin Impact, Apex Legends, Destiny 2 are good competitions, Fortnite can kick rocks for all I care. The award for Games for Impact, which is for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. The nominees were A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Edling, Extinction is Forever, Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. The winner ended up being As Dusk Falls. I haven't heard of any of these games, so I have no opinion. Okay, next up we had Best Performance, which is awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. The nominees were Ashley Birch of Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney of A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge of God of War Ragnarok, Manon Gage of Immortality, and Sonny Suljic of God of War Ragnarok. So, wow, 2 God of War Ragnarok nominations for this category, but Christopher Judge was your winner. Christopher Judge has quite a resume, which I learned earlier tonight that he actually was the voice of D-Mob from Def Jam Vendetta. I did not know that. Not only that, he was the voice of Magneto in X-Men Evolution, and I did not know that. So, Christopher Judge has quite a resume, whether it's movies, television, and video games. All right, best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. The nominees were Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. And the winner ended up being God of War Ragnarok. So, God of War just collecting awards, one after the other. Best score / music. This is for outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. The nominees were Oliver Derivere, I don't even know if I said that right, A Plague Tale Requiem, Tsukasa Saito of Elden Ring, Bear McCreary of God of War Ragnarok, Two Feathers of Metal Hellsinger, and Yasunori Mitsuda. And the winner ended up being Bear McCreary of God of War Ragnarok. So, another award for God of War Ragnarok. All right. The award for Best Art Direction. This is for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. The nominees were Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray. Elden Ring ended up winning this. So they got Best Art Direction. Alright. Best Narrative. This is for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. The nominees were A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality. Winner ended up being God of War Ragnarok. Alright. Best Game Direction. This is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. The nominees were Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immortality, and Stray. The winner ended up being Elden Ring. So Elden Ring won both Best Game and Best Art Directions. So, spot on there. And then the final and ultimate award is Game of the Year, which is recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. And the nominees were A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And the winner ended up being Elden Ring. I'm not surprised. I figured it was going to either be Elden Ring or God of War Ragnarok. But looking back, Elden Ring takes home 4 awards, including Game of the Year, but God of War Ragnarok takes home 6 awards. So they ended up getting the most awards at this show, but Elden Ring takes home the top award in Game of the Year. Which, I mean, I figured it was going to be quite a battle between these two games. And the crazy thing is, Elden Ring was out a lot longer than God of War Ragnarok. I don't even think God of War Ragnarok has been out for a full month. I don't think it's been out for a full month. I could be wrong, but just God of War took home the most awards, but Elden Ring took Game of the Year. So, I'm not surprised. I figured it was going to come down between those two. Um, Overall, I mean, for the winners and such, I think this was a lot better than last year's. So I'm cool. I'm cool with how this went down. But now let's switch gears, and I want to talk about the games slash announcements that really got me excited the most. Um, I have to say, definitely Final Fantasy 16. Seeing more gameplay and footage of that, seeing a lot of the different summons, like that game looks awesome. Seeing a chocobo get slaughtered, that caught me off guard. That really caught me off guard. But it definitely looked really cool. There's a nifty looking summon battle system that looks really cool. And I like the characters. Like the characters look really cool. And it got a release date. Releases June 22nd of next year. So definitely excited for that. Can't wait to see more footage on that and looking forward to getting my hands on that game. So very excited for Final Fantasy 16. Absolutely. Um, Even though I've never played an Armored Core game, I was actually surprised to see Armored Core 6 get revealed. Now, Armored Core, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. So, you know what? I gotta give credit to From Software on bringing back the Armored Core series with number 6. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. I was really pumped that Supergiant Games released Hades 2 footage. So they just announced Hades 2. And the crazy thing is, don't forget, Hades won Game of the Year back in 2020. So keep that in mind. And this game will also go into early access in 2023, just like the first one did. So, Supergiant Games with a banger announcing Hades 2. I'm actually looking very forward to it. I'm a big fan of Supergiant Games. I have each of their games. Bastion is one of my favorite indie games of all time so far. And I've gotten a chance to meet Logan Cunningham and Darren Korb of Supergiant Games. Of course, Darren Korb has been the main composer of the music of the games, and Logan Cunningham, he was the narrator's voice in Bastion. So I got to meet the both of them at MomoCon 2019. That was a great experience. So I'm a big fan of Supergiant Games. I mean, Bastion, Pyre, Hades, Transistor, all great, all great. Um, I was kind of shocked a little bit about Death Stranding 2 reveal. It sounded like, maybe it was just me, but I thought for a moment that the music that was playing in the trailer was Snake Eater, which is certain lyrics being sung, but I could have been way off. But yeah, Norman Reedus is back in Death Stranding 2. Like, I haven't played the first one. I think the first one is still available via PlayStation Plus, so I might consider it. But Hideo Kojima bringing it with Death Stranding 2. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I have Jedi The Fallen Order. Never finished it, but it looked pretty cool. Looked pretty cool. It's from the same folks, and it has a release date of March 17th, 2023. So not quite round the corner, but we'll be here before you know it. Of course, Diablo 4, June 6th, showed some more footage of that. So, June 6th of next year. And of course, they announced more information for Street Fighter 6. They did a trailer. They showed a trailer that featured DJ and new characters Manon, Marissa, and JP. And I have to say, DJ looked pretty cool. Marissa looked really cool. And Manon looked awesome. So definitely interested. I did sign up for the second beta, so hopefully I get in this time. But Street Fighter 6 has a release date of June 2023, June 2nd of 2023. So, man, we're getting some bangers releasing in June of next year. So, sounds like June is going to be a big month next year for gaming. I did thought it was cool. The new Suicide Squad game has Batman in there, and it will be voiced by the late Kevin Conroy. So this is pretty much his last voiceover work for Batman ever, because sadly he did pass away recently last month. And this releases May 26th of 2023, so right before my birthday. So I might look into Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's the name of the full title. So I may look into that. Horizon Forbidden West is getting some DLC. Burning Shores, which releases April 19th of next year. I still need to finish Horizon Zero Dawn and that DLC because I haven't played Forbidden West yet. But I own them both. I do own them both. Oh yeah, we got to talk about some Tekken 8. Tekken 8. So, while there wasn't a release date, there was not a release date, but we got to see some other characters revealed. So we know Kazuya and Jin Kazama are in it. We also saw Paul Phoenix. We saw Lars. We saw King. We saw Jack 8. And we saw Martial Law. That could be Forrest Law. I don't know. He looked pretty buff. Looked pretty ripped. So, I don't know if it's Martial Law or this could be Forrest Law. I mean, Forrest Law was last playable in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and he made his debut in Tekken 3, so it could be Forrest Law, but it's probably Martial Law. And Jun Kazama will be returning as a playable character. So I thought that was pretty neat. I think the last time she was a playable character was Tekken Tag Tournament 2. So I thought that was pretty neat that she's a playable character. But the gameplay looked really cool. It looked really cool. But like I said, they don't have a release date yet, but I think little by little they'll reveal some more characters and maybe smaller trailers and such. So, should be good. A lot of hype around Tekken 8, as well as Street Fighter 6, Two heavy hitters in the fighting game land. So, this is good. This is really good. I was really intrigued by the announcement and reveal of crime boss Rockay City. I mean, it has a stellar cast, and it looks like a stealth first-person shooter, and it looks really neat. But take a look at this cast, y'all. Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris, Danny Glover, Danny Trejo, Vanilla Ice. Like, what? So, I'm very curious to play this game. Very curious. I don't know if I'll overall like it or not, but I'm curious to get my hands on it. And it takes place in 90s Florida. So Florida back in the 1990s. So I'm very curious. So that's a game I definitely am interested in and will be keeping my eye on. Blue Protocol did catch my attention a little bit. It's a MMO, an anime MMO RPG that also is being worked on by Amazon Games. They're collaborating with Bandai Namco. So it releases next year, and it has a couple of different classes like Blade Warden, Twin Striker, Keen Strider, Spellweaver, and Foebreaker. The animation, it looked really cool. So, Blue Protocol is something I will keep my eye out for, but we'll see. It is an MMORPG, so I just have to keep that in mind. But yeah, overall, that was pretty much what caught my attention the most with this Game Awards show. I thought it was definitely better than last year's. I thought it was better than last year's. And overall, I think this was a good turnout. They had a lot of good reveals. I mean, a lot of content. A lot of content. But yeah, I'm just. Oh, and Among Us getting pretty much a hide and seek DLC mode, which, I recently got a chance to play Among Us for the first time, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm actually curious to check out this hide and seek mode that they're adding in later in the game. But yeah, I have to say probably my top five, or yeah, I'd have to say my top five games that I'm pumped about are Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Crime Boss, Rocket City, Final Fantasy 16, and Hades 2. I would say those are the top five games that have me the most interested. But yeah, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What did y'all think of the 2022 Game Awards? What did you think of the categories and nominations? Did you think the right games won? Like I said, overall, Stray took home 2 awards. Elden Ring took home 4, including Game of the Year. God of War took home the most. They got 6. Final Fantasy 14 took home 2 awards. So, Splatoon. Splatoon took home, I think, 2 awards. Splatoon 3, that is. So yeah. Did you think the right games won? What did you think about the announcements? Any particular games that you're looking forward to, that you're pumped about? Let me know what y'all thought. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell while you're at it. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this content. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram of Blitzball Champ Gaming signing out. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.